All right, let's talk about one of the biggest questions on everyone's mind. How do you actually build wealth in the world we live in today? Well, we're about to break down 7 super powerful side hustles you could literally start right now. And we've got real-world examples of people who are making an absolute killing. Let's jump in.
So let's kick things off with this absolute banger of a quote from entrepreneur Mark Tilbury. He's basically saying that the old path, go to school, get a degree, get a safe job, it's not the golden ticket it used to be. It's a pretty bold claim, and it really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about.
And that quote really tees up our first big idea here, what he calls the university lie. Now, the point isn't that college is a waste of time, not at all. But just banking on that degree to be enough, that might be a huge mistake these days.
So, what's the reality? Well, you gotta think of your degree as just the starting point. It gets you in the door. But your side hustle? That's the launch pad. That's the rocket ship that can seriously accelerate your income and give you a real advantage in this crazy, fast-changing world.
Okay, so with that framing out of the way, let's get to the really fun part. We are going to dive deep into 7 modern side hustles. And for each one, we've got success stories and a super simple rating system to help you see which one might be the right fit for you.
Kicking things off with hustle number 1, faceless content. And you are not reading that wrong. A 16-year-old kid named Daniel is supposedly banking $500,000 every single month, and he's doing it without ever showing his face on camera. See, right now, there's this massive war for your eyeballs between TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, and they're paying out insane amounts of money for content that just keeps people scrolling.
Okay, so let's break down the numbers here. And remember, for these ratings, a lower score is actually better. So Time to Learn gets a 4 out of 5. Not because the video editing is that hard, but because you have to become a master of psychology. You got to know how to create a killer hook. But check this out, the money needed is a 1. It costs basically nothing to start. And the ease of making $1,000 a month is also a 1, simply because these platforms are starving for new creators.
All right, hustle number 2 is investing. Now, I know what you might be thinking, is that really a side hustle? But look, when it's pulling in something like $17,000 a week for the creator of this idea, Mark Tilbury, you just can't ignore it. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about building serious, long-term wealth while you sleep.
And the best part? The strategy behind it is ridiculously simple. It's called dollar cost averaging. Basically, you forget about trying to be a genius who can time the market. You just put in the same amount of money on a regular schedule, say every single week. Sometimes you'll buy high, sometimes you'll buy low, but over time it all averages out and you just ride the market's growth. I mean, look at these scores. This has to be one of the most accessible ways to build wealth, period. The time to learn is a 1 because the basics are so simple. Money needed is a 1, you can literally start with a single dollar. And because it's totally passive once you set it up, the ease of making that first grand is a 1. You combine that with the S&P 500's average return of 11% a year for the last decade, and, well, you've got a recipe for a powerful wealth machine.
Coming in at number 3 is something you might not have even thought of, Discord building. And this is a really fascinating one. You've got 19-year-old Chris Peters on track to make $15,000 a month just by managing these online communities. Why? Well, there's this weird little tech gap where Discord is complicated enough to scare off older business owners, but simple enough for a teenager to master in a weekend.
And the ratings really lay it all out for us. The learning curve is pretty moderate, a 2.5, but it costs nothing to start. And hitting that first $1,000 a month is so achievable. Seriously, just find 4 businesses that need a Discord server, charge them each $250 a month retainer fee to manage it, and bam, you're there.
Next up, hustle number 4, online coaching. And this one is about so much more than just the money. It's really about freedom. Take Jack Jefferson. He had a pretty good job making $70,000 a year, but he walked away from it because his fitness coaching side hustle started making him $7,000 a month. And more importantly, it meant he could work from anywhere on the planet.
And here's the absolute game changer with this one. This isn't just for fitness gurus. You can coach literally any skill that people want to learn. If you've already got the skill, the learning curve is super low, you need 0 money to start, and making $1,000 a month is a piece of cake. Why? Because people will always pay for convenience and one-on-one help. Okay, let's get into some real future-forward stuff with hustle number 5, AI animation. Look, AI is probably the biggest thing to happen in tech since the internet itself, and the people who jump on it now are going to win big. People like Mercy, who's already making up to 10 grand a month creating slick AI animations for content creators who want to make their videos pop.
And if you're worried you missed the boat, you haven't. The timing for this is actually perfect. If you look at the classic technology adoption curve, we are right here, at the very beginning of the early majority wave.
This is the sweet spot. You're not so early that it's a huge gamble, but you are way, way ahead of the massive crowd that's about to come flooding in. So yeah, the ratings show there is a bit of a learning curve here, a 4 out of 5. You've got to put in the work. But again, look at that money needed score, a 1. It costs almost nothing to get started with all the amazing tools out there. Getting to $1,000 a month is a little tougher, but the upside potential as more and more businesses adopt AI, it's just massive. All right, let's switch gears from the digital world to the physical one with hustle number 6, reselling luxury items. And the numbers here are just staggering. Ben Gallagher took this idea and built a business that pulled in over £7 million in 1 year. The market for reselling luxury goods is absolutely exploding, all thanks to social media and this huge demand for designer brands.
So, this one is a classic high-risk, high-reward scenario, and the ratings show it. Time to learn is a 4, you have to know your stuff to avoid fakes. And the money needed is a 3.5, you need some capital to buy inventory. But here's the trade-off. The profit margins can be so insane that you could make your entire first $1,000 off of a single flip.
And that brings us to our 7th and final hustle, online writing. Now, hold on. We're not talking about becoming the next J.K. Rowling. We're talking about a very specific, in-demand skill, writing words that sell. Think copywriting for websites, scripts for TikToks, threads for X. Adam's making over $10,000 a month doing this because great businesses will always pay a premium for killer writing.
This might just be the ultimate example of a high-skill, low-cost hustle. I mean, look at that time to learn score. It's a 5 out of 5. Let's be real, becoming a great writer is tough, but it costs absolutely $0 to start, and the income potential, it's basically infinite. I'm talking the best writers out there can charge over $50,000 for a single sales page. It's wild.
Okay, we've just covered 7 totally different ways people are making serious money. But if you look closely, you'll start to see some common threads, some unspoken principles that connect all of these success stories. Let's pull them out. So what are they? First, you have to offer immense value up front. Remember Chris, who managed that Discord server for free at first? That's what we're talking about. Second, master a skill that's hard, like writing. The tougher it is, the less competition you have. Third, you have to understand leverage. The quickest way to get paid is to make rich clients even richer. And finally, never, ever forget this. People will always pay for convenience.
And all of this, all 7 hustles, all these principles, it all comes down to one thing, the most important part of this whole conversation. What are you going to do with this information? So this is the final question, and it's really the only one that matters. What's your next move? I want you to really think about this for a second. What's that one skill you already have that someone else would happily pay to learn? The answer to that question could be your ticket to an extra $1,000 a month, or it could be the key to a completely new life. If this helped you figure things out, do me a favor and subscribe for more explainers just like this one. Thanks for watching.